This is a absolute classic, as you can see here. Dinosaurs, Giganotosaurus versus T-Rex. I reviewed that before, but now I'm going to review the classic version. This video was made in September 2017, so I'm going to be much more lax on this.
This episode's sponsored by the Clever Girl t-shirt. Check it out at the viral store. Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Giganotosaurus.
I think you know what the outcome of this battle is, but even in 2017, that topic was just extremely hotly debated.
The Giganotosaurus and Tyrannosaurus lived millions of years apart in different areas. The long-skulled Giganotosaurus, who was larger than a T-Rex.
Back then in 2017, Giganotosaurus was actually thought to be a little bit heavier than the Tyrannosaurus. But, of course, as of 2025, this is no longer the case, and the T-Rex is heavier and therefore larger.
Was native to South America and lived during the Mesozoic era, 97 million years ago.
You could have used something like Dinosaurs Patagonia. Well, it's definitely not the most accurate documentary out there, but at least the Giganotosaurus there is fine. It's just time traveling, that's all. Not really time traveling, but like Argentinosaurus and Giganotosaurus shouldn't have met.
While the robust and muscular T-Rex, native to North America, lived during the Cretaceous period, 67 million years ago-ish.
Back then, the T-Rex was thought to have lived around 68 to 66 million years ago, so 67 million years ago is okay.
But let's put them together. Who would win in a fight?
I feel like Dinosaurs channels like this, they have influenced a bunch of 1v1 fights, and it's what made 1v1 fights incredibly popular.
First, some stats. Tyrannosaurus, height at head, 6 meters.
Even back then, that was actually kinda ridiculous. As you can see here, 6 meters is just even taller than Rexy, which Rexy is already not a very good model to base off at that time period.
Length, 13 meters.
Wasn't T-Rex like 12.3 meters long at the time of recording this Dinosaurs video, like 2017?
Weight, 6 to 8 tons. Diet, large and sometimes armored dinosaurs. Okay, now the weapons of the T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus had a bite force of around 6.5 tons and had over 60 20cm teeth lining his 1.2 meter jaw.
There's a reason why T-Rexes had to evolve ridiculously powerful bite force in order to deal with the herbivores in its environment, like the Triceratops and Montosaurus.
Using his bite force and teeth, Tyrannosaurus could easily tear off over 60 kilograms of flesh. He could potentially kick using his legs, but this was unlikely because it could easily unbalance him. Would also be hard to aim a kick at Giganotosaurus when they're both thrashing around. When battling, the Tyrannosaurus would most likely try and ram Giganotosaurus with his large head.
I'll give this narrator to this. Ramming is definitely good. Ramming is fine, of course. The T-Rex has that massive head to try and topple over the Giga. But kicking, as Dinosaurs pointed out, is it's just not viable against a Giga. So, even in 2017, Dinosaurs was actually okay here.
Now onto the stats of Giganotosaurus. Height at head, 6 meters.
Okay, now I read that a bit more carefully. The Giga being 6 meters tall at the head is also a little bit questionable. But, you know, back then outdated estimates were the norm, so.
Length, 14 meters. Weight, 8 to 9 tons. Diet, large and sometimes armored dinosaurs. Now onto the weapons of Giganotosaurus. He had a huge skull with sharp teeth, short arms, and 3-fingered clawed hands.
With a confrontation against the T-Rex, I don't think a Giga would use those arms to actually slash the T-Rex, because it's just unviable. And I don't think the Giga would want to get its arms just ripped off by something as intelligent as a Rex.
Now let's start with the advantages of the T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex had the largest teeth of any land predator we know of. They grew upwards of up to 12 inches, making them 4 inches longer than those of Giganotosaurus.
Only the largest recorded tooth measured 12 inches long. The exposed portion of the tooth is around 6 inches long, and 12 inches long also included the root.
T-Rex had some of the bluntest teeth of any land carnivore. They were serrated, but not like Giganotosaurus, emphasizing a completely different killing style altogether. Whereas Giganotosaurus killed by slicing, T-Rex killed by crushing its prey with its teeth.
Coupled with its ridiculously powerful bite force, and you know the reason why T-Rex had to actually crush the bones of its prey and just kill them. Because, like, if the T-Rex didn't evolve to have a ridiculously powerful bone-crushing bite, then how would it be able to kill something as gigantic as a Monosaurus, or something as armed as a Triceratops, or even something as an Ankylosaurus?
Tyrannosaurus Rex had the most heavily muscled neck of any giant theropod we know of. Its skull was also broad and wide, making it completely unique from other theropods as well.
Okay, to be fair, the T-Rex's skull was ludicrously thick, even for a theropod, compared to the Carnosaurs, as well as a bunch of fellow Tyrannosaurs, like the Tarbosaurus and the dual-tongued Tyrannus. The T-Rex's skull is definitely much thicker.
This, along with an incredibly wide lower jawbone, gave it massive biting power. The maximum bite force of a T-Rex would have been around 50,000 pounds of force. It had a significantly larger brain to process better and more efficient killing tactics.
Or in this battle's case, determine the Giga's weakness and then go after the Giga's weak spots and then just incapacitate the Giga so that the T-Rex could safely chomp down on the Giga.
T-Rex had phenomenal eye vision in comparison to Giganotosaurus. However, the real difference comes in where the eyes were set. In Giganotosaurus, and nearly all other giant theropods before T-Rex, their eyes were set at the sides of their skulls, indicating a good all-around vision. However, its frontal vision is blinded, giving it no real 3D vision or stereoscopic vision.
Another way to say this is that the Giganotosaurus doesn't have as good of a depth perception as the Tyrannosaurus. Just pointing that out so no one gets confused about it.
Tyrannosaurus Rex had eyes set in front of its skull, allowing it excellent stereoscopic vision, giving it the ability to see in front. This is a huge leap in advantage, because as we see today, numerous land predators have this ability. Tigers, lions, jaguars, leopards, hyenas, wolves, bears, eagles, all have great stereoscopic vision, which allows them to judge depth and calculate distance.
Also incredibly necessary to complement the T-Rex's intelligence and where to target. And, you know, the T-Rex definitely has to target weak spots. That's pretty much all there is to say, though. Mega Dinosaurs is actually doing good in this video. I don't know how they got worse, but, like, it's just a fall from grace.
While Giganotosaurus would have to sway his head from side to side in order to see depth, T-Rex wouldn't need to do this. Now, after all that, now onto the disadvantages of the T-Rex. It's hard to think of any disadvantages, but the fact that T-Rex was slightly smaller and lighter might allow Giganotosaurus to ram him off balance.
It's not that much smaller, even in 2017, and even then, I don't think how skulls work is that it's not really a one-to-one correlation when it comes to size and being toppled over.
Now onto the advantages of Giganotosaurus. Giganotosaurus is larger than the T-Rex and a ton heavier. T-Rex might have a powerful bite force, but the Giganotosaurus could use his slashing teeth to wound the T-Rex.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I don't really know which predator would go after the other first. The Giga would also probably use its head to ram the Rex. Well, yeah, but like the Giga over here, its slashing teeth could help.
And then keep his distance until the T-Rex bled out, leading to his death. Now onto the disadvantages of the Giganotosaurus. The Giganotosaurus would be at a distinct disadvantage against the T-Rex. We know that the bite force of the T-Rex is stronger by a long shot.
The thing about T-Rex is it's quite robust, so it can actually blunt a bit of damage from the Giga's slashing bite. And the T-Rex would probably still be okay for a while, and just chomp on the less robust Giga.
In fact, only C. Megalodon, a prehistoric shark, could outbite the T-Rex. In history, Giganotosaurus had eyes at the sides of his head, and his vision was more primitive.
I wouldn't call it primitive. I would call it limited. The Giga did not evolve into the T-Rex.
He had a smaller brain and wasn't as smart as the T-Rex. Verdict. I reckon Tyrannosaurus would win 80% of the time.
Honestly, the verdict is quite close to the verdict that I would do if it's today. T-Rex versus Giga in 2025, the T-Rex would probably win like 80% of the time.
The T-Rex would have the clear-cut advantage in this make-believe fight, and would win 8 to 9 times out of 10 if these two were to confront one another. The fact is simple, T-Rex is far more powerful. It also has a more devastating killing weapon.
Honestly, when it comes to Mega Dinosaurs setting all those stats up, Mega Dinosaur version of stats, the T-Rex would probably win closer to around like 60 to 65, 60, because the T-Rex over here is smaller, and so it's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage.
And it's also more advanced in terms of its evolutionary line of tools, i.e. a bigger brain, stereoscopic vision, and so on. All this allows T-Rex to give a huge stomp to Giganotosaurus. Anyway, who do you think would win the fight?
Well, in 2017 it's the T-Rex, in 2021 it's the T-Rex, in 2025 it's still the T-Rex.
T-Rex or Giganotosaurus? Please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
You can also subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on if you want. It's free, you can always change your mind.
Also, please follow me on Twitter. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, consider supporting me on Patreon. Or you might catch me serving you at McDonald's real soon. Oh, and make sure you click the bell icon to turn on notifications. I'll see you later.
So this is the end of the video, and for 2017, this video actually isn't bad. And, I think I went a bit too lax about it, but, this video would definitely be kind of outdated in terms of certain aspects, and so I'm not complaining at all. And that's pretty much all there is for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you on the next one. Special thanks to channel members for supporting this channel. It helps out a ton.